Hey everyone, Luke Dog here, and welcome back to Assassin's Creed Syndicate, where today we are going to be starting the Jack the Ripper DLC. Interesting why it brings us back here. Where's he at, Jacob?
For 20 years, after the assassins defeated the Templars in London, the city enjoyed a certain peace. Until the Autumn of Terror. In 1888, London is plunged into shadow and fear by a series of gruesome and unsolvable murders. The brothels of Whitechapel seem warm and safe by comparison to its streets, where prostitutes are being mutilated and left on grotesque display for the world to ogle. Jacob Fry hunts the elusive killer to bring an end to the terror of Jack the Ripper.
Get a move on, Mr. Finch. This is the story of a lifetime.
Mr. Weaversbrook, I know you have more of the Ripper's letters.
I told you to stay away from me.
Stop publishing his letters. You've turned an unknown miscreant into a legend, and that's exactly what he wants.
Jacob! Thank God I found you. It's the Ripper. He's done it again. Katie! Oh, we can't. No, we can't have. And Lizzie. Not both. Not in one night.
Nellie, remember what I said. Now go.
How many more assassins must die before you see the truth?
Only one more, Jack.
You should have believed, Jacob. Now, I will hunt you down.
I know you're there, Jack. The Master of Terror's afraid to show himself, is he?
I am your shadow, Jacob.
So if this is 1888, that means that Jacob has an adult son by now, because Lydia is supposed to be born in 1893. Or at least close to an adult son. Turn around, Jacob.
I will gut every last one of them if that's the quickest way to you.
Jack's terror over London is based on his use of fear. One of Jack's fear tools is the brutal takedown. Performing a brutal takedown to its bitter end will frighten any opponent witnessing it. Hold square in the same conditions as the classic assassination to start a brutal takedown. Follow the instructions to complete it.
Come on, you monster! Let's be done with this!
Run all you like, Jacob. I will catch you. I need only follow your scent. The scent of a wounded animal.
He did not compromise by... Really?
There is nowhere you can hide from me.
Someone just ran past saying there's a killer on his tail.
Enemies react to the Ripper's terror in 3 states: calm, anxious, or frightened. Fear actions make enemies anxious, then frightened. You can affect an enemy's fear state with fear tools: the Death Scream and Spikes.
Stop! You want me, Jack? Come and kill me! This is not...
$36, jeez. Oh, it's all tutorials.
Oh, wait.
This is my creed. You cannot escape me. Scurry back to your hole, little mouse. Going somewhere, Jacob?
Jack, you're sick.
Don't you see the irony, brother?
Jack!
Only you know who the Ripper is, but you can't tell a living soul because it would destroy you and the assassins. No, 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 no!
Jack! We can fix you.
Fix me? I am the solution.
Miss Fry?
Inspector Aberline. Why exactly have you had me escorted here?
My men and I have been hunting the Rip around the clock for months now, and we've nothing to show for it. There's nothing I can tell the public.
What's the Ripper to do with me? My brother has had me summoned here from India. Can't this wait?
As far as I know, you may be the last assassin in London.
What do you mean? Where's Jacob?
I wish I knew. Your brother is nowhere to be found, even as an elusive shadow is committing the most hideous crimes this city has ever seen.
And you believe this is no coincidence?
The killer is selective and dispassionate and has left not a single trace of his passage. I've seen such a talent for assassination and avoiding detection only once before. When I worked with the two of you. And that is why your brother summoned you before he disappeared.
You think Jacob is dead?
I dare not believe it. But if he is, you may be the only person who can stop the Ripper now. Follow me.
When are you gonna stop that monster?
I'll take you.
Evie is summoned back to London by her brother after a long sojourn in India, only to learn that Jacob has mysteriously disappeared in the autumn of Jack the Ripper's terror. The investigation begins. Ooh, we got new skills. This is the knife that Jack the Ripper presumably used to mutilate his victims. In keeping with the Ripper's modus operandi, the knife was moderately sharp, not as sharp as a scalpel, and it was closer in size and form to a butcher's blade than any surgeon's tool. The Jack the Ripper murders occurred in the East End of London in 1888 and had a huge impact on society as a whole. So what makes this killer the daddy of all serial killers? After all, the murder spree took place over 125 years ago. Several factors combined to help make the series of crimes famous all over the world. Not least among them was the fact that the newspapers of the day gave a huge amount of coverage to the gruesome crimes and provided their readers with daily updates on them, with the result that Jack the Ripper eventually became a menacing media figure. Secondly, the area in which the killings occurred was perceived as to be a hotbed of vice and villainy, and a breeding ground for social unrest, squalor, and disease. The Whitechapel murderer, in the eyes of the wider Victorian society, came to be seen as the personification of all the evils with which the East End of London was associated. There was also the name by which the killer came to be known, Jack the Ripper. It was this name that had the effect of turning 5 sordid East End murders into an international phenomenon, and of catapulting the unknown miscreant responsible into the realm of legend. Of course, the fact that no one has ever identified nor conclusively solved the horrific crimes keeps the legend of Jack the Ripper alive. Jacob Fry, born November 9, 1847. Jacob was born the younger Fry twin to a schoolmaster and his young wife, both assassins. His mother Cicely died giving birth. In 1868, Jacob and Evie successfully wrested London from the Templars under the command of Crawford Sterrick. After continuing their struggle to help London's underclasses for a few years, the twins separated. Jacob remained in the city to maintain control over the gangs, and reinforce the London assassins with new initiates gathered from among the many orphans and child laborers. Evie chose to follow Henry Green and join the Indian assassins. Around 1870, Jacob is believed to have traveled to India with a few of his young initiates to train with his Indian brothers and sisters for a brief period. He brought back some of their fearsome battle tactics a year later. In 1888, London was cowering in the shadow of Jack the Ripper's terror. Jacob disappeared at the end of October 1888, soon after the double murder of Elizabeth Stride and Catherine Eddowes, and is presumed dead. But we know that's not true because Lydia helps him and Evie out of London before World War I.
The site where the Ripper first struck. The journalists always seem to get the word first. We get there, they've trampled the evidence, and next day's headlines are dripping with blood. The few hundred yards between Flower and Dean Street have become so dangerous that even my best constables are afraid to patrol Whitechapel at night. Let's take a carriage, shall we? I'd rather not get egg on my face again today.
I'll drive. What has become of this borough?
Whitechapel is a cesspool of crime, Miss Fry, where terror reigns supreme. Elsewhere, the rich get richer, but here, the poor are living on the living, fighting to survive each day. Reporters share a view of Whitechapel as a lair of savages, monsters, and werewolves who hold honest citizens in a state of terror.
The Ripper's terror. Slow down.
We are not far from where Mary Ann Nichols was murdered. I knew her as Polly. That's what her friends called her. But the woman who died here is not the woman I met a few times at the Frying Pan pub.
Then who was she?
I was hoping you could tell me. Go see for yourself.
Jack the Ripper.
This is where the Ripper committed his first murder. Was Miss Nichols' body identified?
Her husband hadn't seen her in 11 years. He barely glanced at the poor, mutilated woman before he had the gall to forgive her for what she'd done to him. The press reported widely that Miss Nichols' finger bore the mark of a ring. It was forcibly removed, and the same is true for his other victims.
victim's body was found here with her throat cut and multiple stab wounds to the abdomen. Old bloodstains persist. She placed her hand here, perhaps to rest from her injuries. She may have tossed aside her ring at this moment.
What did you discover?
Give me a moment.
Strange place for bloodstain. Something covered in blood struck the tree. Her ring, perhaps? A ring that only sworn assassins wear.
I found Miss Nichols' ring. An assassin's ring. She must have tossed it away during the struggle. A desperate act to protect the Brotherhood. You think they were targeted?
Yes. And the newspapers are accusing the police, me, of letting the first city of the world lapse into primeval savagery. I must take my leave, Miss Fry. I have other business in Whitechapel.
Good day, Inspector. Thank you for your discretion.
Inspector Aberline needs your help. The Ripper's terror has inspired a wave of crime, from petty thievery to copycat killings. Whitechapel has become a place of brutal savagery. Bounty hunts, close the fight clubs, carriage of justice activities are now available.
I'll need to tackle Jack's influence over the gangs in London.
The Ripper's terror is inspired by a crime. Happily, Aberline will fill his loyalty gauge. Aberline's loyalty unlocks new rewards like weapons and gear. Jack has taken control of Jacob's former gang, the Rooks. Oh, that's nice. Be careful, these men have been trained to kill assassins. They're displayed in red in Eagle Vision and on the minimap. Jack's gang members will attack you on sight. Try to avoid combat against numerous gang members. Exploit their fear. A kara is a steel or iron bracelet of Indian tradition, which can be used as a devastating melee weapon. Originally, a kara was worn as an article of faith, but karas became popular with many Indians regardless of their beliefs, both for their simple, decorative beauty and as a symbol of unbreakable attachment and commitment to a cause. Evie adopted karas after being introduced to them by her Indian brothers, who historically used them as protective rings to guard their sword arms. During her time among the Indian assassins, karas were most commonly used like brass knuckles in hand-to-hand combat. When Jacob and Evie defeated Starrick in 1868 and ended the Templars' influence in the city, the Rooks proved to be one of the toughest gangs to overcome. Years later, when Jack went rogue, he had already gained the support of some of London's most dangerous men. He took over the command of Jacob's Rooks. Together they managed to recruit or kill anyone who resisted Jack's power play. Jack trained them to be more effective against the London assassins. The Rooks of Jack the Ripper ran several operations for him, including running security for Lady O's brothels. A few lieutenants reopened the fight clubs, while others trafficked in opium and stolen antiques from the colonies. There was no end to their cruel creativity. It was Jack's organization now, and he would show the assassins that their true future lay with him and his creed of terror. Frederick Aberline, born January 8, 1843, died December 10, 1929. A young clockmaker from Dorset, Frederick Aberline knew he was destined for bigger and more puzzling things. Joining the Metropolitan Police in 1863, it took him only 2 years to make a good impression and be promoted to sergeant. He always strove to be fair and just in his line of work, but found that the law was often anything but. In 1868, albeit with some hesitation, he joined forces with Jacob and Evie Fry, two justice-seeking rogues, to help rid the streets of the notorious Blighter gang that dominated the city's underworld. In 1873, he became an inspector and was transferred to Whitechapel, where he eventually led the investigation into the infamous Jack the Ripper murders. Although certainly beneficial at the time, Abberline spent the rest of his life questioning whether or not his early allegiance with the Frys was ultimately just another corruption of the justice system. Ah, there it is. So is it just this in the City of London that we go to? So 20 years it's been since Steric. Yeah, there's one over here. Let's get it.
Get your everyday essentials!
Can't we have 5
Think you're
minutes?
safe from me over there?
Come on. Seriously can't make that? Excuse me.
I wouldn't go around bragging about it. There are plenty of police not in uniform round here, you know.
You go and something is going on.
If you want to live, don't make a sound.
Just as I was getting bored. What the hell was that?
Oh, I don't have... No, I...
I need a wrong turn.
didn't realize I still needed to restrain him. I thought I still had my thing.
Some woman sneaking! There.
Toss.
Just
Not good.
I don't know. Does it reset if I just run, or do I have to die? Nah. Oh well. I panicked and pressed the wrong button. Yeah, let's try again. Gear upgrade suggested. Why?
You can get away with murder. I mean, literally.
I won't go around bragging about it. There are plenty of police not in uniform round here, you know. Oh, some in the street.
I need help!
Easy now. Don't struggle. Let's do this the easy way.
Jesus, all right. Whatever you want.
Spare a penny, pennies, please, a penny. May I spare a penny for you, boss, please, sir? A penny, can.
Act natural.
What's happening?
Penny, please,
Something going on there?
Lost two of your brothers down here.
No noise, just walk.
Son of a biscuit.
Someone get away! Any last words?
Ah, move.
She won't get away! Out of my way! There she is! Don't go easy on her!
I'm gonna knock your teeth out.
Just try and stop me!
Made a huge mistake.
Quiet and I won't
Jesus.
hurt you.
Get in there. Oh, hey, kid. Years later, and we still don't know how to drive.
Here now.
Leave him with me. I'll see that justice is done. Thank you.
There we go. Carriage of Justice.
Help me, please!
Kowalski immigrated to the United Kingdom sometime between 1887 and 1888, shortly before the start of the Whitechapel murders. He successfully poisoned 3 of his wives and became known as the Borough Poisoner. He currently resides in Whitechapel, where he has been working as a barber under the name Ludwig Schlosky. Bring him to Inspector Aberline for questioning. Londoners have heard that there is a suspect in the Ripper murders, and they are looking to mete out their own justice. You have to deliver the suspect to Inspector Aberline without being detected. Refrain from moving too fast, avoid collisions, and keep your distance from crowds and enemies to remain undetected.
Take me to Inspector Aberline. I've information on the Ripper murders, but my neighbours think I'm a suspect. Get me there alive and I'll prove I'm innocent.
Atta girl.
They want to kill me! What's going on? Oh my God!
Go on.
I'm innocent, I swear!
There you are.
Oh, please! Please, just get me to the yard alive!
Don't worry, we'll be fine. Except there's a fire ahead.
Atta girl.
I'm gonna put you in your place! This is intolerable!
That's it.
Oh, please, please, please don't let them! Please, 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 please!
There you are.
I am not Jack the Ripper!
There you go.
Oh God, please, Harry, please, please, please!
You'll be fine, don't worry.
I'm innocent, I swear!
Sorry.
Go on.
Coward! Don't let them hurt me, I'm innocent!
Hup. Here now.
Oh, don't let them kill me, please!
What are these fuckers up to?
Go on.
What the heck?
Come on.
Oh, they want to kill me!
They really seem to think you're the Ripper. There you are.
What was that?
Did that... Come on.
Oh, don't let them hang me!
Thank you for your help in apprehending the suspect, Miss Fry.
I'm innocent. It's not me, I swear. Thank you, miss.
Oh, that counted. There it is. Ubisoft Blue. And teal. Show off. When you perform a brutal takedown, you will be seen from a greater distance. From Bishop to WW Assassins, highest priority. This directive comes from W. Miles. Dr. Alvaro Grammatica is now our most valuable target. He is in possession of the Shroud of Eden, and we know he intends to use it to recreate a precursor for purposes unknown. We were able to capture some footage of him in his lab, but unfortunately we still have no idea where that lab is. It is everyone's mission to find Dr. Grammatica and his lab, kill Dr. Grammatica, recover the Shroud of Eden and any other artifacts found in the lab, destroy any and all Abstergo cloning technology. I've released some more of Evie's genetic memories into the Initiates to keep our backdoor into Helix secure. We need all hands on deck for this one. Report back with any leads. Where's the target? What the heck? Maybe because I dropped off a target from another thing close by. I don't know. Let's go to the next story mission then. It's now Rook territory. That just seems wrong. So where's Jacob's family in all this? Evie begins her investigation in Jacob's lodgings in the hopes that her missing brother has left her a clue to finding Jack the Ripper.
Inspector? The inquest mentions that Miss Nichols made quite a spectacle of her drunkenness on the night of her murder. Do you think Jacob may have put her up to it?
Bait, you mean? I don't know what to think anymore, Miss Fry. Jacob kept lodgings nearby, right in the heart of this... Bait, you mean? I don't know what to think anymore, Miss Fry. Jacob kept lodgings nearby, right in the heart of this cesspool. Be careful.
I will not fail you.
Yeah, where is Jacob's family? I mean, I could understand them not casting anybody to, you know, save on budget and stuff, but... at least some kind of, maybe... heads up? Little info? It'd be nice. What are you doing up there, kid?
Gotta go.
I used to lead your gang.
That's it.
Come on, game. I'm going the complete wrong way. Wait, is this Henry's shop? I think this might be it. Yeah, this is Henry's hideout. Huh. Jacob was just down the street. Pretty decent place.
Weapons of intimidation, much like those we learnt to use with our Indian brothers.
A broken pot. Seems to have been a struggle here. Something was smashed on the floor, perhaps a mirror. What happened?
A letter?
Grand work the last job was. I'll give the lady no time to squeal. How can they catch me now? I love my work and I want to start again. You'll soon hear of me with my funny little games. I saved some of the proper red stuff in a ginger beer bottle from the last job to write with. But it went thick like glue, and I can't use it. Red ink is fit enough, I hope. Ah.
The newspapers printed this letter 3 days before Miss Stride and Miss Eddowes were murdered. It was signed, Jack the Ripper. So much blood. I hope it's not yours, brother.
Lots of bloodstains on the floor. There was a struggle here.
More signs? What am I not seeing? The last time Henry, my brother, and I were together was in India. 15 years ago. When the photograph was taken, we stood facing a temple of Kali. And that's one of the boys Jacob brought to train with the Brotherhood. What did we call him? Jack the Lad. Reckless and roguish. Much like my brother.
That's Jack the Ripper. He used to be an assassin. And revealing his identity would mean revealing the assassins to the public. That's what I'm going with. A photograph of the Fry twins with Henry Green and a young initiate named Jack, whom Jacob brought to train with the Indian assassins 15 years ago.
More signs? What am I not seeing? I've got it, Jacob.
Kali the Destroyer. I gave this to you on your last visit to India.
There's a woman who can help. Unfortunately, she'll remind you of our childhood neighbor. If the Ripper...
Unfortunately? What is Jacob trying to say? We loved old Nellie. Could he be referring to an unfortunate woman?
Nellie may be in the brothel nearest Jacob's lodgings. I'll start there.
Find the closest brothel.
Right. Look sharp, lads.
Evie discovered the Indian assassin's fear tools after following Henry Green to India in 1868. Jacob visited her there once with his new assassin initiates. Jack the Ripper and Evie used most of the same fear tools, but Evie's tools are not lethal. Calm enemies will become anxious when victim to a fear tool. Use another fear tool to then frighten them off.
This bomb will strike fear in their hearts. Scream and it'll be your last. Let's hope this Nellie has news of you and can lead me to the Ripper. If Jacob's former pupil is the Ripper, then he is our Ripper. I must catch him.
Oh, I see. She pinned his arm. Any open window?
One of these women must know Nellie.
In a hurry, are we, darling?
They're all downstairs, never mind.
Where is Nellie?
Who's asking? I don't know you, and I don't know Nellie.
Pardon me, does Nellie work here?
Nellie? Afraid I can't say, miss.
Have you seen Nellie today?
What do you want with Nellie? Who are you? If you're a friend, then you may already be too late.
Where is she?
On her way to see Lady O. In the company the brutes paid to keep us in line. Hurry if you want to catch her.
Come nicely, Nellie. Lady O's expected you.
I don't want to. Let me go.
I need to find Nellie before something bad happens to her. Go on. Here now. Where did they go? Nellie is in grave danger.
I'm gonna stop by the shop first.
There must be some. Excellent choice. Hope to see you again. Come, take a look at what I've managed.
There's the carriage. Nellie must be inside the building. Nellie is in there somewhere. No doubt closely guarded and in mortal danger.
There's a trespasser out! Jason,
Fear bombs are one of the bomb emits a cloud. Oh, am I just like crafting? Oh, I think I was just refill my I don't know. The Kenway Mansion? Why are we at Edward's home? It's all on the other side. Ah! Come on, I'm trying to... Really?
I'm begging you, don't hurt me, missus. What's going on?
How do I get this? There we go.
Don't make me hurt you in front of all the ladies and gents.
Take your hands off me.
Hush. Keep your voice down. Lady Harris is speaking.
And so I am delighted to announce to you all today we shall be taking on even more poor unfortunates in due course. These desperate young women, innocent victims of these uncertain shall have a roof over their heads, a warm fire, 3 meals a day, and above all, the love and support they need to regain a foothold in society. As long as they repent and acknowledge the errors of their ways, they shall find a home with us. This is the work we do. It is the work of God. Work of which I am extremely proud. And
Don't be afraid.
Jacob's sister. We can't talk here, please. He'll kill me. She'll see to it.
Who?
Lady Owers. Jacob said you must kill her to find him.
Smile and be polite, or I'll tell the Ripper where you sleep, my beauties. Aim Fry. Take Nellie and see to it that woman does not follow us.
Where did she go? That must be the carriage I'm after.
Get in. Horse.
Not again! Move it! Move! Where did she go? Damn it!
Bugger me. Oh, you call that running? Shame on you.
Lady Owers. Whoa! Nellie, I'm so sorry.
She used me as a decoy and fled to Owers Manor.
Hoping I'd cause your death, no doubt.
She knew you'd come, Miss Fry. Lady Owers the Ripper's eyes and ears in London.
Kill her and Jack will be forced to show himself. Hey! I'll look in on you soon, Nellie, I promise. Lady Owers will be expecting me, and I would not want to disappoint her.
Jack the Ripper and Lady Owers' lieutenants terrorize the prostitutes of London. Help free Nellie and the other prostitutes from the Ripper's terror. Brothel attack, lost women, walk of shame activities are now available.
Jack's terror over the prostitutes in London has to end.
Kali is the Hindu goddess of death, time, and rebirth. Her name means both she who is black and she who is death. As both a fearsome warrior and the embodiment of Shakti, feminine energy, creativity, and fertility, Evie became fascinated with the goddess during her years living and working in the company of the Indian assassins. Kali is often portrayed in her most famous guise as the Slayer of Demons, where she stands or dances with one foot on a collapsed Shiva and holds a severed head. She wears a skirt of severed human arms, a necklace of decapitated heads, and earrings of dead children, and she often has a terrifying expression with a lolling tongue which drips blood. Her earliest appearances in Hindu cosmology is that of a destroyer principally of evil forces. Evie gifted her brother with the statue of Kali the Destroyer over a decade ago, when Jacob came to learn some of the Indian assassin's fearsome techniques. The body of Annie Chapman, the Ripper's second victim, was found in the backyard of number 29 Hanbury Street at 6 a.m. Chapman's body was discovered at around 6 a.m. on Saturday, September 8, 1888, near a doorway in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street, Spitalfields. The throat was severed by 2 cuts, the abdomen was slashed entirely open, and it was later discovered that the uterus had been removed. The left arm was placed across the left breast, the legs were drawn out, the feet resting on the ground, and the knees turned outward. The killer had deftly cut out Annie Chapman's womb and had gone off with it. Her fingers bore the mark of a ring, which was presumed lost or stolen. But was the woman butchered by the Ripper truly Annie Chapman? Evie's investigation on the site of the murder suggests that the real Annie may have died of natural causes due to weak health, or killed herself out of desperation, and been replaced by one of Jacob's initiates in order to infiltrate Lady Omar's operations and spy on the Ripper. During the Victorian era, being a prostitute was a sordid and dangerous undertaking, which only the most destitute of women turned to for survival. They walked the worst-lit streets in London at night, often alone, in places where the police would never venture unless they were 3 or 4 men strong. Between August 31st and November 9th, 1888, the brutal murders of 5 prostitutes were attributed to the one killer, Jack the Ripper. Rapidly, gangs and procurers took advantage of the Ripper's terror. The unfortunates had no choice but to ply their trade, under duress, and give up their hard-earned coin in exchange for protection. Now they had not only the Ripper to fear, but their new employers as well. It was high time someone stood up for the prostitutes and helped them retake control of their lives. Annie Chapman, born Eliza Ann Smith, 1841 to September 8, 1888, was the second victim of the notorious unidentified serial killer Jack the Ripper. Born Eliza Ann Smith, Annie married her maternal relative John Chapman, a coachman, at All Saints Church in the Knightsbridge district of London on May 1, 1869. Annie Chapman moved to Whitechapel in 1886. When her husband died, she lost any hope of income outside of prostitution in one of the many brothels run by Lady O, and her friends testified that she seemed to give up on life. Like Mary Nichols, Annie Chapman led a nomadic existence around East London. For 4 or so months prior to her death, had been living at Crossingham's lodging house at number 35 Dorset Street, where she paid 8 pence a night for a double bed. We cannot know for sure that the woman killed by Jack the Ripper was indeed Annie Chapman, or another of Jacob's assassin initiates who disguised herself as a prostitute in order to spy on the Ripper. Nellie, surname unknown. Born between 1863 and 1865, month unknown. Nellie was a lost woman, an unfortunate, one of 1,000 prostitutes who plied their trade in London's most impoverished boroughs. Jacob had met Nellie into an invaluable ally, one who would be key to help him put an end to the Ripper's reign of terror. Jacob wrote in March 1888, "I saw a brave girl today. She did not hesitate to defend one of her sisters working Dorset Street, racing up, screaming like a madwoman, and grabbing away the cane of a brutal client. I offered to buy them both a glass of gin, but Nellie refused. So I bought us all some dinner at the Frying Pan, and Nellie and I have been friends ever since." Jacob's last entry in 1888 before his disappearance mentions only, "I gave Nellie some money and told her to flee Whitechapel. Evie will find her, but I fear she'll go back to Lady O looking for work when the money runs out. The Ripper must not find her." Oh yeah, skills. Jeez. Okay, how about we do one more quest? Walk of Shame. This will be interesting. Ah, screw it. This is a repressive and puritanical era. Prostitutes are thought of as shameful sinners, whom the rest of society prefers to ignore, except for the men who take advantage of them. There's a whole host of miscreants mistreating these desperate women in the deadly maze of Whitechapel. Teach them a lesson they won't soon forget. Stop the client from being violent by any non-lethal means possible. When successful, bring the abusive client to Nellie. You must publicly disgrace and shame the client by traveling through crowds on the way back to Nellie.
Anyone gave a damn about you whores. Oh. The Ripper would already be intruder!
Hurry up, hurry up!
You! Bastard! Let's go for a stroll.
Oh. Who do you think I am? I just invited this unfortunate to tea.
Let's see how the people of London judge your rags.
Alright, I keep forgetting I gotta restrain them. Got so used to not having to do that.
Oh. I don't want to hurt you.
Let me go and I'll help you.
What in the blazes is that about?
No noise, just walk.
All right, just let me go.
Let's do this the easy way.
I'll tell you what you want.
Leave our women alone, you bastard! Most peculiar.
What's all the ruckus, I wonder?
If you want to live,
Let me
don't
go
make
and I'll
a
help you.
sound.
This is your job. I have nothing left of my life. What's going on? Don't I know free as well?
There's something
Scream
strange
and
going
it'll
on.
be your last.
Something bad's going on.
What is the commotion?
What is going on? What's going on there?
Bugger. What's going on now? Now, what was that, I wonder?
We're going to take a walk,
All right,
you and I.
just let me go.
Let's see what's happening.
Wipe your Wi-Fi down!
either.
We're going to take a walk, you and I. Let's do this the easy way.
Oh.
No noise, just walk.
Looks like a mess is brewing.
If you want to live, don't
Let me
make
go
a
and I'll
sound.
help you.
Quiet.
I knew there was trouble. I could feel it coming.
Wait, no! Wait, how? What? come on. What? How?
Slice of fruit!
Oh my gosh. How, what? Did I? Oh, I must not have restrained him or something. Ah. Ow. No!
Fallen cheek. Tolerable state of this city. Never would have happened in my father's day. London has had
Alright, just let me go.
Let's go for a stroll.
Let me go and I'll help you.
Why can I not restrain people anymore?
Scream and it'll be your last.
Alright, just let me go. What could be happening?
Oi! What kind of man gets his jollies hurting a defenseless girl?
Oh God, please! Let me go! Don't tell my wife!
Oh, so now you're sorry, eh? Don't you ever lay a hand on one of us girls again. We know who you are.
Well then. Hey, skill point. Impaled enemies take more time to collapse. Their screams will last longer. Gain health by performing full brutal takedowns. Seam Buster. Then yeah, I can just craft these. Okay. I see how it is. Oh, speaking of which. Let's go get this chest. Oh, and I just realized we can't use the little rooks to get resources now. They've all grown up. Indian brown. Dark brown, light blue, and yellow. Any new firearms? Self-loading pistol. The Mars. Fire Spitter. Spits out more fire per second than the Drake of St. George. Templar Shootout. Master Templars covet this supreme shooter. Trying is believing. Insidious Pistol. Size doesn't matter. Look at that thing. Good old Mars. Got the Devil's Handshake equipped. A velvet glove, an iron fist with a velvet touch fit for a night out. The oars, that's probably the yard. As in Scotland Yard, not yard work. Ideal for the pruning of criminals. The Ripper's Terror. Kiss the Hand, old world elegance and an assassin's fatal charm. And Seam Buster. From Kali with love, exquisite handcrafted with love from our Indian brothers. Power in the palm of your hand. The bulkier the sandwich, the bigger the bite. Print your headline on their faces. Huh, interesting. Slow carriage. Lost women. Brothel attack. Fight Club. You know what? Let's end with a Fight Club. What happened to John Topping? Robert Topping.
My constables and I are grateful for your assistance.
What do you need me to do? Oh, frighten enemies. I should have probably... Oh, I can't... Oh, come on!
If that's your best effort, you might as well lay down now.
On your way.
You'll be singing a different tune once I'm through with you. Quick! Gotta overpower her!
Cause a panicked enemy to kill another enemy.
That'll be all.
What you were after!
That'll be all. Thank you.
You're boring me.
Thank you.
Keep short. Just try to stop me.
How's about I'll stick a hole? I'll slice you open!
Thank you. You can go.
You want to fight to the death? Come on then, lads. That's where the real money is. Who's with me?
Come on! Come on, hit me! Hit me!
Thank you for taking another dangerous criminal off the streets, Miss Fry.
Well, that was interesting. Knuckle sandwich. Definitely better than what I have. At 1 point. Can't get anything. Well, this will probably be a good place to stop for this video. Next time, I'll probably go around, get a few more collectibles, and continue on with doing some of this stuff. That's probably Assassinate Lady Ors. So I'll probably save that for a little bit later. Probably go around and do some side content in the meantime. Slowly but surely, we'll take London back from the Ripper. Yeah, that's right, everyone go home. Fight Club's closed.